Good morning. There we go. Hey, again, welcome to Vintage Church. If I've never met you before, my name is Dustin Turner. I serve as the lead pastor of Vintage. And I am really, really excited about these 5 ladies up here, okay? Can we give it up for these women? They are up here because they are mothers in a multitude of different contexts and life stages, right? And so I want to introduce them to you really quick. And they're up here because they're experts. And you see the reactions? Funny. They're up here because I want you to hear kind of their perspective. And if we're honest with ourselves, in every stage of life, we all have kind of different perspectives and contexts and environments and experiences. And if you're like me, I mean, I'm not a mother, right? But in every area of life, I'm wanting to grow, right? And even these women, I have a feeling as they hear from some of these other moms, they're going to be like, oh, okay, and learn. And so that's what the goal of this is this morning. And so let me introduce them to you real quick, and then we'll have some questions for them. This is Erica Martinez. Erica is a foster mom. This is Marie Sclafini. Marie is a mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, okay? Morgan Thomas is a foster mom as well. We're going to talk a whole lot more about fostering this week and next week as well. That's Kara Faubacher. Kara Faubacher is our RV women's leader, but more importantly, she is a mother of 2. And one of the other things that she shares about is she's also experienced miscarriage and loss with children as well. And then we have Susie Green on the end. Susie is a mom of a blended family. And so many different contexts up here that I want you to see and experience. And so let me start. And I've told them I don't want yes and no answers, but no sermonettes either, okay, ladies? I'm just saying. So why do you love being a mother?
What I love, so it was funny when I got this question because I thought to myself, well, that's a presumptuous question, because it is challenging. But to answer the question, what I love most about it is actually seeing. So we have 2 7-year-olds, and we've had a few other children live with us. But getting to see their development and change and growth in different ways, and like seeing them learn new things and pick up things that you've taught them, which has been pretty amazing. Like, I love that. That's my favorite.
I'm sort of at the other end of motherhood. I'm experiencing great-grandchildren, so I feel like a little bit like I'm starting over. But what I enjoy so much is seeing the fulfillment of what God, in spite of myself, the fulfillment of what God did for my 2 girls. They both love the Lord. They're very independent. And I'm blessed of seeing the fruit of the labor, no matter what I did.
I kind of agree with Erica that just taking kids who have been traumatized or have come from a background that you may not even fully know, and watching them kind of grow and become these humans that you're proud of. It's really an awesome thing, and to only have 6 months to be able to say that is really cool.
I think I was stumped the most by this question. I don't know if y'all felt that way too, but I think I've thought a lot about it, and I think the thing I love the most is just the unexpected. I like plans and routines and things. I like to know what to expect, and my little girls are nothing like I thought they were going to be like. And I think that's the funnest part, is there's always something new, and I think that brings a lot of joy and change and fun in our life.
Sorry. So what I love about being a mom, this is a very difficult question for me too, because there's so many things I love about it. But one of the things that came up to my head was I love the fact that I get to raise my best friends. So I have different age group, and the oldest one right now, she's 18. And
Share the ages real quick.
Okay.
If you remember them.
Yeah. So I have a 4-year-old and have a 13, she just made 14 last week. And then I have an 18-year-old.
Okay.
So we also have, but they don't live in the house with us. We have my stepson who's 15 and the other one who's 16. So it's like very, diverse age group. But I love the fact that I get to impact them in every single stage. And then when they get older and they're actually putting all the things that you teach them to use, and you see yourself in them, like you sprinkled, you kind of multiplied yourself, and you're like, oh, that's just like me. That's just like some good things, some not so good things, but nonetheless, I love the fact that I'm raising my best friends, and in the end, like they're gonna hopefully take care of me.
Excellent. So, a lot of great things that you love about being a mother. What's been the greatest challenge as a mother?
Okay, so one of my greatest challenges, I would say, is having to discipline them. I'm sure everyone is nurturing, but I'm I'm the one to run to when dad disciplines them. So when I'm alone with them, it's hard for me to say no. It's hard for me to be stern to them and know that I'm the reason that caused them to cry, but I also understand that it's very important to have that structure, and so I have to think of many creative ways to do it, in some ways that I should be okay with at the same time. I don't just want to be their friend, I also want to be their guidance. So I would say that has been one of my biggest challenges, being the disciplinarian and putting my foot down. And they still get to me at the end, they still find a way to get screen time back when I take it away. So, still going. That's an ongoing thing. Even when they're 18, they're. So.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I think the greatest challenge for me, there's been a lot of challenges in motherhood so far, but I think when you've experienced loss, one of the greatest challenges is just a constant fear that you have to just give over to Jesus. Because, there's a fear every time I go into an ultrasound. There's a fear, all the time I fear what's going to happen to my kids. Are they going to be okay? I'm kind of fighting being a helicopter mom a little bit because I have to fight that fear so much. But I think what it's doing is it's growing me, and it's helping me learn what it really means to trust God. So that's mine.
I think the biggest challenge is simply stepping in to be a mom to kids that you had no clue who you're getting. So being a foster mom, we got a call for a sibling group, a 9 and a 4-year-old, and we said yes, even though we didn't want a 9-year-old. We wanted kids under 4, but her name actually is what made us say yes. That's a different story that you can ask me later. But I think that's the biggest challenge, is you take these kids who are in backgrounds that are horrible, that's why they're in foster care, and you're just simply trying to love them. You're trying to show them Jesus, and they are fighting you tooth and nail every step of the way. But 6 months out, I can see the fruit of all of this love. You can see in my kids how happy they are, how joyful they are, how much they love each other, how much they love us, how much they love friends and family. They're actually knowing what true love is now, and that's a hard thing to do. So that's my biggest challenge.
I'm really blessed that I didn't have too many challenges except from the age of 12 to 18, But I was never faced with a serious illness or anything with my kids. I think the most scary thing ever was when you find out that your Christian 16-year-old daughter, president of the senior class, is going to have a baby. And that was a big deal. And I was 38 years old, and I'm going to be a grandma. Let me tell you, God showed up. He gave my husband and I such peace. There was no doubt. We bonded, is that how you say it? With that child in the womb. She was ours. And I'm so blessed. She's now 30 and has her own. And God will redeem what Satan meant for evil. He will turn around for good and for his glory.
That's really beautiful. I think the only thing that I would really say is just reiterate what Morgan was saying about parenting kids from challenging and hard places, and just maintaining your consistency with them, because they do need a lot of structure and consistency, and just keeping like your focus on Jesus, because it does get really hard, and it's a challenge that I can't explain, but on the other end of that challenge, you see so much fruit.
Great. Let's ask one more question. What is one thing you would tell a future mother?
I love this question. I've been thinking about this question since we got to pre-read the questions, actually.
I gave him 2 weeks on these, so I'm just saying.
I love this question because I think it's really important for us to acknowledge that we all have different stages in our lives, and that no matter where you are in your life, whether you are single or married without children, or on the other side of having children and being a grandparent, is that God has put you in the place that you're supposed to be at, and there's purpose and beauty in that. And so I know for myself, I really always had this heart for being a mom, and it took me a long time to get there. You know, I'm almost 40, and I'm a foster parent for the last year or so, 2 years almost. And so I wish that a mother would have come to me and said just to relax and enjoy the space that you're in, because there's so much purpose for you where you're at. And so to lean into God, lean into Jesus, and walk with him through those stages. And also sleep. Now is the time to sleep.
As a mom?
Before, as you're preparing.
My advice would be, look at everything as a season. It's just for a short period of time. You go from those early years to the school-age years to the teen years, and everything is a process. And just remember, his grace is sufficient for you, and Jesus' power is perfected in our weakness, and I think we all have the weakness down.
My advice would just be to not compare yourself to other moms. And it kind of goes along with what Erica and Marie have said, to enjoy the stage that you're in, but also to realize that what works for your best friend is not going to work for you. That took me a long time and a lot of fighting to realize that my parenting style is going to have to be different, because my kids are different. They're not the same as everybody else. And so be okay with that. Find what works for you and go with it.
I think mine would be remember all of the sweet moments, because there are going to be a lot of hard ones. And there are days that I want to pull all of my hair out of my head. And I call my husband crying, and he's like, "Kara, I don't know what to tell you." But every time I'm trying to, I come back to reality and calm myself down a minute. And I remember all of the amazing moments. So that would be mine for sure. Oh, sorry.
My advice would be to enjoy the chaos. The dishes will get washed later. The floors can get cleaned later. The beds could get fixed later. I'm not saying live in a pigsty, but if you have that opportunity between doing the chores or having them do chores and spending an extra moment with them, do it, because you blink and they're gone. Like I said, I have an 18-year-old now. She's graduating, and she's, out the door to college. So, you want to cherish every single moment that you have with them, because it goes by so fast.
Can we thank these ladies?